let's talk a little Worlds, 2026 Worlds. So this has kind of all been announced, all been revealed. And so we're going to talk about this. There's a kind of a few things to talk through. First, we'll talk about the fan experience on the ground, the ticket packages, and then the final thing that they've announced is kind of their like RFID technology that they're doing here at Worlds as well. So Worlds is Connor's beard is just all over.
I'm sorry, I looked around the corner and then I bearded the mic. It's my bad.
So bring that back up, Si. This is the experience map for 2026 Worlds here.
Anybody play Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yeah,
it does look like that. You're right.
Big time.
It does look like that.
Sweet spot.
So you've got like essentially one thing I do like. I've never been to the D-Glow course. I believe this is at Toboggan.
The Kensington.
One thing I do like is you see hole 3, hole 15, hole 2, and hole 18 all bring you to Vendor Village.
That is.
I do like that because that's where a lot of holes. Because I'd imagine hole 1 is going to tee off.
That is nice.
I mean, it's got to be somewhere in this area.
It is nice, but also at the same time, it would be. I'd love to see like a 7 or like a 11, like bring you.
No,
back
from
to
3 to 15, you're gone.
Yeah,
but
you
like
still are gone for most of the course. But it's not. It could be worse.
I would say a lot of courses we went to.
Yeah,
you're never back
gone.
at the Vendor area.
So
Yeah,
it could be worse.
true.
And that's only the holes that literally end right there.
Well, it
So-
also means at Vendor Village you can go peer at holes while you're there. Like you don't have to
Correct.
walk far away to see some disc golf.
So some things to
Yeah.
like note that I think are very cool. First, the grandstands, Champion Circle. Shout out Vessi, longtime partner of us. The grandstands there, I love that, bringing them in. Looks like they're going grandstands there. Bleachers, hole 2, and then hole 3 tee area also looks to be grandstands. There's also the First Form VIP Terrace, which First Form I believe is the title sponsor of the event, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So outside title sponsor, also exciting there. But you have their like VIP area there, and you also have a VIP catered dining area.
Ooh.
So that is, and if you look at it, I believe the plan for that is to be the glass enclosure, similar to what we saw in Finland. So they actually on their like partnership deck, they have a few different like pictures of this because they're going shaded bleachers across both courses, a climate controlled public dining area, and a double-decker dining and retail structure.
Wow.
Is what they're claiming on all these. So they're going
They're
hard in
gonna
the
have
paint here.
those shaded bleachers look great.
The shaded bleachers are awesome. I'm imagining the shaded bleachers. Yeah, the bottom left there, shaded bleachers. I'm imagining that's what's going to
Wow.
be kind of like the champions.
How the heck does that tent work?
Circle. Tens can be crazy. I'm
How
just
do
gonna-
you have
crazy.
2 floors.
Yeah. What the heck?
It just collapses.
Like, how do those little poles that you like click together hold that up?
But yeah, so this is exciting. The other thing, if we can bring up that first experience graphic again, Side Guy. The other thing I think is cool is they have this sweet spot. So this is like
A rock climbing wall?
well, yeah, so it's a family fun zone, mini course, zip line, climbing wall, and more.
You got a
claimed
zip
back
line?
there. So that's just kind of like your family fun spot, which
like
I
you're
like.
surfing a zip
I like
line.
the idea of zip line or not, who cares? But like the idea of I'm saying like I'm not hung up on it's got to be.
I was saying
a-
almost
I'm gonna be
everybody.
hung up on the zip
Everybody
line.
cares. about
well, I'm
zip
saying
line
it doesn't
hunt.
have to be a zip line. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
the idea of like I bring Luca to this tournament. FPO's done.
You check them into the
MPO
zip
tees
line.
off in an hour.
You're out of there.
There's nothing to do. This is where USDGC really capitalizes well on.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there's nothing to do. There's plenty to go do.
Not nothing.
And that's what this sweet spot seems like is a family fun zone. You have the rock climbing wall you can see there, zip line, mini course, all of that stuff of like there's nothing to do ever. So like this is a great spot of it's much easier to sell my son, which he already loves disc golf. But if I have a kid that's like, I don't know if I want to go watch disc golf with you all day, hey, there's a rock climbing wall. You know what, Dad? I'm in. I think that I don't know. I think I'm very excited for
And there's Club K catered dining.
the level here of infrastructure. I believe. Let me make sure this was public information. I believe it was.
I
think this was sent to me as
I was
public
looking
information.
at UDIS really quick because I want to remind myself of hole 3 because I'm like, oh, they put up all those stadium seats, and then somebody updated, like you do like the live updates, and 3 weeks ago somebody said caution, it's gone. It's like this course is not up all year round.
Yeah.
It's gone.
But yeah, this was sent to me to discuss. So they made $300,000 investment into the infrastructure for the tournament.
Wow.
Here. So into all of the stuff you're seeing there, they invested $300,000 into.
Honestly, that doesn't seem that crazy for all that stuff. there.
Yeah, well, when you look at it, but like for a disc golf tournament, that does
Yeah,
sound crazy.
no, yeah.
So I'm very excited. Mainly what I'm excited about is we saw a bar set in Europe. And the immediate question was, that's sick. That seems like the future of the sport. But all of us were like, how long will it be till we see this type of event in the U.S.? USDGC has always been the closest thing we have. Worlds has always been like the highest prestige when it comes to nomenclature, right?
Big word.
But
Yeah,
it
good
doesn't.
use.
It doesn't a lot of times hold that same standard because it jumps from place to place, and it's hard for it to have the level of prestige. European Open Worlds finally gave us that, and what excites me about this is we're seeing it come back stateside, and Nate Heinold and his team for the Detroit Worlds seems to be trying to hold that same standard.
Yeah.
Which is now just going to keep applying pressure to whoever
I would say that
has Worlds.
that's all we like. That's what we really got excited with the last Worlds was like, okay, there's a bar been set. Who's going to be the first one that runs a Worlds that stinks? Like that everybody's going to go, oh my gosh, like look at this compared to last year. You
Well, I
don't want to
think
be that guy.
The problem that this gets into, if you want to look at a problem,
We love that.
Worlds isn't controlled by the PDGA. So now this standard that is set is a very high bar, which makes it even more intimidating for the non-PDGA
Well,
entities to get in.
It's going to come down to, so from my understanding, like UC and his team was willing to run the event at a loss. Like they just wanted to run a sick event. If Heinold can manage to run the event and it's profitable, it's not a problem, right?
No,
now
exactly.
now it's worth doing because it's a job. It's whether or not it can be done and be done profitably. That is what's going to be the big ticket here. Because if you go all out like this and you lose $50,000, well then yeah, I mean who's going to sign up for that every year just to prop the sport up? You got to be able to do this and make money. And a lot of this also just comes down to, is the Detroit area going to have enough spectators?
Yeah.
Like that's part of this too.
So their partnership guide is available to the public, and they're boasting 20,000 plus spectators on the ground. So if you divide that across the 5 days, which is how it's always done, they're estimating an average of 4,000 people a day, which seems reasonable to me.
That's honestly like, yeah, that's very reasonable. It's not
Yeah,
like
that doesn't
it's not
seem like something
wowing
crazy.
me.
If you look at one thing that gets me excited is if you look at their packages for tickets, their daily general admission is $10. So you can
I
get
like that.
This is for Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. So the other course they're using, which is not Toboggan, the daily limited doesn't apply to, but the weekends at Toboggan. So when it matters, you can get in there, $10. Children under 10 are free. So that
under
alone
10?
right there,
Wow.
massive. For getting people on the grounds, because again, we've talked about this a bunch. If I've got a buddy who's like kind of into disc golf or is just looking for something on Saturday, I'm super passionate about it. I can sell them on this until I say it's $50 to get in.
Yeah.
When it's like it's $10 to come hang out,
and you
they're
bring
in.
the kids
That's
for free
great.
too is
Yeah.
huge play.
So $10
What
general
you just
admission.
said is exactly right, Hunter. It's like, because disc golf has a lot of casual players.
Exactly.
And so, but that is great because that grows the sport a ton. Because if you can watch pros play disc golf, it'll make you want to play disc golf more. And so, yeah, getting your buddies who are like, yeah, I like to play with you every once in a while whenever you tell me what disc to throw, but be like, hey, you can come. It's only $10.
and it's on them to. You got to get people in the door because it's on the event to increase spend once somebody walks through the threshold.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
USDGC dominates because you walk through the door and then you spend. Like you just got to get them in to the event.
Correct.
And then if you don't have anything for them to buy, that's on you. But people are still willing to spend always.
That's where disc golf, up to this point, in my opinion, has been backwards. And some of it's out of necessity, right? Because if ticket sales are money that's in your pocket before the event starts.
It's nice.
So it's stress-free
Real nice, yeah.
from that standpoint. Same thing with paywall. It's in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like it's stress-free from that point. But Trevor's right from the standpoint of like how you make a lot of money on this thing, in my opinion, is you need as many people through there as possible, and then you monetize them. Because like UC Worlds over there was free, I believe. Obviously, I don't think I think $10 is great.
Yeah,
and
that's
obviously,
great price.
This is limited general admission, but it means you can view 1, 2, 3, 15, 18. So you can basically view all around there. You get access to the vendor area. You get access to where you can watch it on the screen, and all of that stuff. So like.
You
to
can
me,
get signed discs.
you get
can
what
talk
you
to
need
players.
to get. Yeah, you get what you need to get, right? For $10, I can go watch plenty of disc golf, hang out, eat some food, and yeah, you're going to spend some money because one of the areas you get is the vending area and the food trucks and stuff like that. And so that to me is genius. And then the packages go all the way up to $4,500, which sounds like, holy crap, what are they doing? That's for 2 people, okay? But here's where they're smart. They're in Michigan. They're taking advantage of that. For the $4,500, so it's $2,250 per person, it's included in there private tour of Discraft facility with Anthony Barella and Paul Macbeth.
That's
included in there, and a professional photo with the world champs.
Dude, I didn't even see some.
So-
This stuff is insane.
That's crazy.
Private clinic with Ricky Wysocki and Paige Pierce. Legends meet and greet, which I would assume that's going to be kind of like Climo and him, I would assume. And you get to play both courses prior to the event. You also get access to other stuff the Gold VIP has, like
I'm
private
not
tickets.
gonna lie to you. I have seen a lot of these VIP packages come out and rolled my eyes at them.
Yeah.
and,
That actually
and guys,
sounds sick.
And to be clear, we're not being paid to promote this event.
No.
This is just us giving you feel. I genuinely have never seen one that I think this
Sounds
actually
worth it.
delivers on the value.
That sounds worth
Because yes,
it.
it's a lot of money, but
How much is it?
it's-
$4,500
that's
for two people.
So you're really only paying a little over $2,000.
You have to think though
But
of
you are getting a private
I mean,
clinic,
yeah, no,
a
it
private
sounds-
tour, a private dinner. You're getting to play both the Pro
Yeah.
Tour courses before they play it. You're getting a personalized buzz
If
with
you're
your
gonna
face
charge
on it.
that much for it, then
Well, you
that is the
also-
best things that you
you
can
get $2,000 of free merchandise. So I don't know what all that it doesn't tell you exactly what that is. And you
Wow.
get 20 free meals during the week.
Yeah, I think this one's actually
yeah,
And you
worth
get
it.
15% discount on the World's Pro Shop.
If you are somebody who is like, I want the ultimate experience,
Correct.
like obviously, yes, the average person doesn't want to drop $2,000 on Worlds, but if you want the ultimate
Yeah.
experience, I think this
Oh, you
one's
also
actually
get
worth it.
Fast Pass. They created a Fast Pass lane for player autograph tickets.
I think
wow.
I think that's pretty
Well,
sick.
especially if you're like, this is my vacation, like this is
Right.
my big vacation. That's not that.
No.
that
So
now
you
is
get
not
everything.
that crazy.
You also get the Fast Pass lane is for Silver VIP and up. So like if you're someone who cares about getting player autographs, like you can get in there
I'm interested to
$275
see how
Fast Pass lane.
much the fast pass lane gonna get higher than the normal one, like
I
the
don't
Disney
know.
thing.
But like it is
the fast pass problem.
It is. It is something where I agree with Trevor on the standpoint of typically you see these VIP tiers
They're
and where they
usually
try to
a
add
joke.
value is the merch you get with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I wanted a Zuka cart, I'd go buy a Zuka cart. Versus here, you're probably still getting a Zuka cart, to be straight with you, because you're getting $2,000 free merch. But people would pay $2,000 just to go on a tour of Discraft with Paul and AB.
Yeah.
People would pay
that's
$2,000
insane.
just to be like, oh, I can pay $2,000 and get a tour of Discraft with AB and Paul, and I get a free clinic with Ricky and Paige. I'm
Yeah.
in.
Typically, in
and then
those
you get
things-
other stuff.
Typically, in those things, there's at least, usually multiple, but at least one thing that's like, okay, that's kind of lame.
Yeah,
Like, you don't really.
Well, I didn't read
but
all of
that.
it. There's some of it that like.
Okay.
I,
Every single thing that
it's
you
a very long
said
list.
sounds like really cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it sounds very cool.
There's a lot of stuff on here. Like I could read. If I read this whole thing, you'd probably be like, some of it, yeah. But for us, some of it that's okay. Someone else is like, that's the one thing they want.
It's very cool.
But yeah, they are boasting glass atrium tent access is for all VIP. So bronze and up, you get the glass atrium tent access, which is kind of sick. I just want to see the glass.
You
atrium.
get a professional picture with the world champions.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
how
cool.
that's going to work
That's
out.
very cool.
But that's just for platinum VIP.
I mean, there's
They'll
nothing
just do
cooler
it
to
whenever
put.
they do the photo
Nothing
shoot.
cooler to put in your
the
disc golf
website.
basement than that.
Yeah.
No, just say, here, hop in.
So I don't know how many platinum VIPs are
They
going to
can't be many.
available.
That's what I'm saying. I think this
They're
one-
selling that out first.
That's what I'm saying. I think this literally sells out instantly, and because I don't think they can have but so many of them to
There is
accommodate. some
no
of these
way.
things.
There is no way that Edwin Stats is not doing that.
I would agree.
It sounds like it's made for
if he
him.
can get it. It's
Yeah.
gonna
It
be
sounds like it is made
competitive.
for
It's
him.
gonna be very competitive.
I'll be straight with you. Like
I
if
kinda wish I
wasn't-
had
Yeah,
one.
I
if
do too.
I-
It sounds like fun. I want to do it.
If I wasn't in like the disc golf media space,
Yeah.
and I was the diehard fan I was in 2015,
Yeah.
You'd be thinking about it.
I would be tempted.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
I'd be calling my brother and be like, "Hey, look,
Split this thing.
like this could be it for us. Like
Yeah.
this will be part of our Christmas. This will be like we could do this for Worlds because like this would be a dream.
I'm trying
Go
to figure
meet,
out-
like,
Yeah.
all your favorite players. You get to. I haven't even toured the Discraft Factory.
Yeah.
ever. That's like I'd pay to. I wouldn't pay $2,000 right now. Sorry, Bob. Please don't bill me. But I would pay to tour the Discraft Factory tomorrow.
And I'm trying to figure out a way to sound this to not make us sound like stupid. But
Okay, can't wait.
I'm not saying like, oh, we get to do all this cool sick stuff. But like, since our full time job is in disc golf media, we get to do a lot of cool stuff that a lot of people don't get to do.
Very true.
So we have a lot of stuff that we've done that's like people would pay a lot of money for. I'm even thinking all this stuff sounds sick to me. Like
Yeah.
I still think that this sounds awesome.
I mean, you're telling me all it
Like
takes.
I'm saying we get a lot of opportunities.
All
That's
it
what-
takes
that's
for
what I'm
me to
saying.
fix my forehand is a $2,500 ticket to Worlds with a clinic with Ricky. I'm in.
Serve the pizza.
Serve the pizza.
Serve the
Well,
pizza.
according to
a lot. Yeah,
a lot of people,
according
say no.
to a lot of people,
don't
not
serve the
don't
pizza.
do that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Do
I
I serve
like
the
it.
pizza or do I roll the wrist? Who knows? But
Stokely
now,
says it's all like this.
this is the next thing we've got here. They're also announcing they're partnering with Intellityx to launch RFID technology at select 2026 events. So this is going to be Supreme Flight Open, Champions Cup, which is in Lynchburg, Worlds, and the Tour Championship, which is also in Lynchburg. So 2 of the events in Lynchburg, but I don't know why I'm throwing that in there. Just whenever I hear Champions Cup or Tour Championship, I just want to say, hey guys, it's in Lynchburg next year.
Yeah, we're cool.
Anyways, we have nothing to do with this, but I'm interested how this is going to be received by the people, because essentially what it is Intellityx is RFID access to and RFID access control and cashless payments to these events. So it's a unified payment. So spectators receive a RFID badge. So essentially you'll wear a bracelet that's linked to your credit card, or you can preload with cash at on-site kiosks. So you can go
that's
to essentially an ATM and put cash in if you want. And then what it allows is all vendors will be on the same paying platform. So you just walk up and tap your bracelet to the vendor and it pays.
Yeah. If the platform works seamlessly, which you have reason to believe it probably does, it's not that complicated, right?
Yeah,
It's just
no.
RFID. If it works seamlessly, there really isn't a downside for the consumer other than obviously the reason that these things exist is, yes, they do reduce wait times, but they also reduce your connection to money. Like people are going to spend.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be a lot easier to go over the budget that you and your wife decided on for this
for
tournament.
sure. But at the end of the day, it will make things easier and probably reduce wait times.
Well,
Because,
except for
you just walk.
Never
up
mind.
and
I'll get to that when we go
swipe
through
it.
more details.
Yeah, because so Heinl basically said this is something our team's been working on for over 6 months. We're thrilled to partner with Intellityx, from cutting down entry time to speeding up lines at food vendors, providing clearer access to VIP zones, which I do think this is an important thing here.
It's the access
with
for
the
VIP.
RFID badge. There's now, like, historically, you just have this lanyard on your neck, and it's just like you show it to people, and that's it. With this, what it allows is like an actual ticketed entrance to areas where I have to tap my badge to get in, which is how all sporting events work. It's just disc golf. No one's done it until now.
Yeah.
So I do think that's important because there are a lot of areas where, like, people who shouldn't be in the VIP zones magically appear in the VIP zones.
Yeah.
Even players that shouldn't be in the VIP zones magically appear in VIP zones. And it's because you have a volunteer standing there that, like, do they really want to be like, hey, I'm sorry, you can't come in?
And this gets way more
versus here,
serious.
it's way easier as it's just like, boop, green or red.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I'm sorry, you don't have access here. And you're not upset at the volunteer. You're upset at the machine. It's like, what are you telling me I don't have access to?
Yeah. It gets way more serious as a consumer when you're protecting $1,000 customers.
Correct.
Like, it's not like, oh, VIP is 100, normal is 25. No, it's like this guy might have paid $2,000. You better make sure that he's getting something that other people aren't. Like, that's very important.
Now, back over to the partnership document. One thing that's interesting, because as a retailer, we obviously have vended at a lot of tournaments, so I'm not going to go tell, like, how each tournament does things, but it's not uncommon for a certain percentage of what you vend to have to go to the event or to the park or to wherever. That's not a super uncommon thing. In the partnership document, it does say that Kensington Metro Park requires a 20% payment of sales to the Metro Park for any vendor vending at the event. They've negotiated that down. So depending on what you're vending, it's at the highest 20%. Some people it's down to 10%. 20% is high. 20% of your sales, especially when you're thinking discs,
That's a lot.
which it looks like disc manufacturers have to pay 20%. I guess for disc manufacturers, it's not. Disc retailers still have to pay 15% of their top line sales. But what I'm assuming, because the first paragraph says the Metro Park, the second paragraph says the event. I'm assuming it's probably a mixture of both in some capacity, but regardless, none of that really is super relevant. What is interesting to me is how this will work, right? Is since everyone's on one point of sale, all the money is collected to the event, and then you get whatever you're responsible for as a check from the event. That was your sales for the week. So what this does allow them to do is they will know how much money was spent at Worlds, which will be the first time ever.
Yeah.
Because
collective spend
that, like, they'll have data, right? Because, like, you shouldn't lie if someone walks up, like, when you're reporting your sales. But I'm not going to say people haven't, because who knows if they have or not, because, like, at other places it's a simple, hey, how much sales did you do for this week? You turn it in. Here's your invoice. You owe us 10%, 50, whatever percent, and that's how it works. So you could see where people might not be fully honest there. I don't know. But regardless, here they have concrete data. Whether they reveal it or not, I don't know. But I think this is where things could get interesting of if we are able to see this data after, we can really know, and this could be a selling point for future worlds of, hey, yes, we put $300,000 into the infrastructure. We had 20,000 feet on the ground across 4 days, average of 4,000 people a day, and they spent $1 million.
Yeah.
They spent $1.5 million here. And it's like, oh, and now you can take that to a local area and say, hey, because the other thing you can guarantee here is since it's all being collected on one point of sale, they can do sales tax right. Because that's the other thing. If you've ever been to a disc golf tournament, some places don't charge sales tax. They should. You're in a physical location there. That breaks the Nexus rule for pretty much every state. But a lot of times you walk up, no sales tax being charged on it. So that's another thing that it can confirm here is they'll also have the exact data when they're talking to Detroit for future tournaments of, hey, we know because we paid it, X amount of sales tax was brought into the Detroit metropolitan area from this weekend. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so there's a lot of data points where I can see vendors being a little upset by either the percentage or the fact that the point of sale is going to have to be all through one. I could see that being a point of contention, but you do have to think about what this allows the event to do. And I do think that for the greater good of disc golf could be used for a lot of good. So
I agree.
We'll see.
So I was going to ask, so since there's that 20%, do you think, I'm not sure how much you can change prices as a vendor and stuff like that. Will that then raise prices of discs? Because I was going to say that could be the only downside.
Could.
If I was being picky trying to find downsides for the consumer, it could make discs a little bit more expensive.
I would assume manufacturers it won't because if a manufacturer is going direct to consumer, their margin's so strong anyways, and it's a very set price, right? Like if you walk up and you're buying a Tour Series disc and all of a sudden it's $30 at the site, but it was $25 elsewhere, you'll know.
Yeah.
Retailers and non-disc vendors, I could see there being some that are a little bit higher because you might not know. Yeah. Right? Like, I mean, there's a discrepancy on what someone charges for champ at one place versus another, or what one retailer charges for a custom champ versus another. So, and I wouldn't even, like, I don't think I'd be that upset at retailers if they're like, hey, this is more than we'd like to pay, so we're going to do a 10% upcharge for being at the event. Like, that's a risk you're taking that people might not shop with you. It is what it is. Yeah. And if that's what it makes it where I can be there, I can't be there, you got to do what you got to do.
Very small scale version of capitalism.
Well, you also think when you go to an amusement park, when you go to a sporting event, you're expecting to pay more for the food. It's not like you walk up to a food truck at a disc golf event, or you don't walk up to the concession stand at a basketball game and you're like, I'm sorry, you're charging what for a pretzel? I can go to Sam's Club and get that for a quarter.
Yeah.
No, you understand. I'm at a basketball game.
Also, you have to remember you only pay $10 to get in there.
Also true.
So that makes it hurt a lot. If you're paying $60, $50 to $60 to get into this event, and then I walk in and all the discs are like way more expensive, then I'm like, this is annoying. But I paid $10 to get in and they're marginally more. I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah. So
if that's what people are doing.
There you go. This was basically a World's ad. That wasn't intended, but hey, Detroit 2026. I'm just excited.
If something sounds sick, we're gonna say it's sick.
I'm excited. That's what I'm saying. We're transparent here. We weren't paid for any of that.
If it smells like poop, it's poop.
If it smells like poop, it's poop. This one smelled pretty good. It smelled like flowers. As long as they're able to deliver.
We'll see if it's flowers.
Yeah. So
where there's smoke, there's fire.
I'm just excited to see the level that was set by UC and his team in Europe attempting to be upheld again here, and I'm excited to see if it's done so.